Azami is an operator with one of the highest skill ceilings in Rainbow Six Siege. By using her gadget, you can transform any room in the game to your advantage, and that's why she's one of the strongest operators in the game right now. So in this video, I'm going to show you my favorite Kiba barriers on every major bomb site of every ranked map in Year 8, Season 4. So the first map I want to show you is Bank, more specifically the second floor. Now, the most common setup for this site is that you're going to have 2 reinforcers over there and 3 reinforcers over here. You're usually going to have a hole in this wall right here so that you can swing anybody coming from the double door or trying to push up square. Obviously, everybody makes a rotate over here. So for the player in the utility room, to help him defend the utility room, usually you would throw Kiba somewhere in the middle and destroy these files so that you have basically 2 angles which you can swing from. You can hold both angles, and if somebody's pushing you from behind, you're completely covered from the door. You can pair it with like a Fenrir over here. Obviously, Fenrir is also one of the best operators in the game, so he's played very often. Then the second rotate, sometimes you would put over here. Now, what I like to do, this is kind of my invention. What I like to do is I like to place a Kiba over here, and then kind of make a hole over here in the wall, and then make a crouch Kiba over here. Now what this does is that it allows you to basically play on top of this table. It creates a completely new angle. Obviously for this to work, you probably need a player in an elevator or main hall or something like that, because otherwise you're just going to get swung from here. That's why I made these 2 reinforcers, to make sure I'm not going to get wall banged. And you can hold this hallway. If they want to peek you, they have to crouch peek you, so they're going to usually peek very slowly. Or they're going to have to run by, and with the ACS-12, which I think is the better option for Azami, you can just easily kill them while running past if you have good enough aim. I think it's a really good setup for utility room. This is not really necessary, but I like to run it. Then I think the most important Kiba of the site is over here. You place it over here so that, first of all, there's no lag angle here, you know, from someone peeking like this or something like that. And then also it creates 2 different angles over here that just, you know, it's new cover that helps you play the site more freely. And also what it does is that it blocks off this angle that you have, as you can see, you know, into the windows on site. So anybody looking to find a kill there is going to have to go all the way here, and he's going to have the smallest angle there. So you just have to be aware of this. But anybody playing here, late round, mid round, is just going to have so much more cover from the door, and the angle is just going to be much better. And then the last Kiba that I like to place is usually over here on this couch. Obviously, you're exposed to windows still, but you're usually going to have a player in main hall or main door trying to snipe somebody on the windows. So if you don't have a player that's going to be playing there, well, this Kiba is not really that good. But combine this Kiba with the rotate in the wall, or it's not a rotate, it's kind of a peek hole. Combine this Kiba with this. You know, if they breach this, if they come from the windows over there, there's windows on that side as well. So if they come from the windows, they breach this, or they buck or ash this, for example. Well, you have a really good angle. Also, your teammate playing over here, for example, is very much protected. I mean, they really have a small angle again onto him. So if somebody's playing over here, for example, watching main door, they would be very much vulnerable from that angle, but now that there's a Kiba there, they're not. Also, it allows you just to play around it very well, I think. And yeah, I mean, this is also really good in late round. Late round, you can also place a Kiba, for example, over here if they breach this window. This worked for me many times. Put a Kiba over here, and then they basically have so many angles to deal with if they breach that wall. So yeah, that's second floor. Let's move on to basement. So for basement, you're most likely going to reinforce all 4 of the hatches. The one over here, the one over here, the one in elevator, and then the one in vault. Then you're going to make a rotate over here. is going to be reinforced, then the other rotate is going to be usually over here. And you might have a player in garage playing here, holding it. But what you can also do is you can place a Kiba over here to make sure that you can rotate safely from one side to the other, because otherwise they're going to have a very long angle from the back of that van, and that's one of the most commonly played spots in garage. Now they're gonna have they're still gonna have an angle on you, but they're gonna have a very small angle, and nobody's really gonna hold that. They might get one hit on you, but it's much safer than if there was no Kiba over here. You can also make the rotate over here. I like to make it over here just so they don't have a long angle from CCTV, but that's up to you. The second Kiba goes over here, somewhere on the bomb. I would not place it over here, even though it looks like a really nice spot to place your Kiba, because if you place it over here, you're just going to give them cover, so they can plant on the default spot, which is over there. This Kiba just creates one more angle for you to hold CCTV, to swing them, and it also allows you to swing the default plant, which is right here. They're not going to be able to plant while you're here. Then I like to place a Kiba over here to kind of block it off, actually. Now this Kiba is very good if this hatch is reinforced, especially kited, and somebody's watching it. If this hatch is about to fall, and if you know it, you better get the hell out of here, because you're never gonna survive from the hatch. That you're basically dead. But this Kiba allows you to play on this table, and nobody's really gonna contest you, because this is such a strong position, especially to hold this reinforced. If they ace it, for example, this is a really strong position to hold overall. And yeah, I mean, it's a really strong Kiba. And then the last two Kibas that I like to place are one in the vault, which is gonna help your vault player play this hatch right here. There's still an angle over here, so you have to watch out for that. But if you hold this, you're just gonna see them earlier than they see you. You're gonna be able to shoot their legs, and it's just gonna make things easier for you. And yeah, I mean, the last Kiba, you can basically place it anywhere. What you can do, you can also combine it with this one to extend the wall, so that they have completely no angles on you. Or what I like to sometimes do is I could place it over here and then break this wall right here, so that you have, that's why the ACS is the better gun for Azami, so that you have an angle. Or you can place it over here, somewhere like over here, so that you have an angle onto the stairs. You basically see them, they don't see you, they only see your head. And then when they try to shoot through the wall, if you place it over here, well, they're not going to be able to shoot you. They're only going to be able to shoot your head, and this is a really nice angle to hold main stairs with. So the next map is Border, and we're going to start on the second floor in Armory. So obviously reinforce these two walls, and the first Kiba is going to go on this wall at around like basically this height. It's going to leave a little bit of a gap, but it doesn't really matter. This Kiba barrier is basically there so that you can rotate from B side all the way to a half wall without getting swung from the door, without getting pushed from the door. It's basically, I think it's essential nowadays, unless they ban Azami. You can also kind of reinforce the strategy by putting some ADSs here and having someone definitely play below, because if there's a Buck or an Ash playing below, they can get you out of this position very quickly, and this position is one of the best positions to play on this side. So this Kiba is basically there to protect. I would also recommend this reinforce so they don't kill you from the balcony, because it's a very common wallbang spot. Then we're gonna make a rotate right around here. I probably wouldn't make it too far to the left. I'd make it over here. Also make it so that you can run through it. I'd probably reinforce this as well. Reinforce all those three walls. Now what I like to do as Azami on this side is kind of unorthodox, but I like doing it. I put a Kiba barrier over here. So it blocks off the rotate. But I like to have teammates playing either CCTV or just hallway, just roaming. So obviously if they want to go back to side, they are either gonna have to break this or they're gonna have to come back through here. This is why I place this Kiba as probably the last one. And then what I do, I break this chair and I break this wall down, the whole thing. And I actually think it's a good strategy. So you're gonna basically have to get rid of all of the supports of the wall. This is why this ACS is really good. You can also obviously do this with 2 impact grenades if you really want to, if you want to play the Capcan SMG. But I really like this because it allows you to see into basically default plant, which is usually right around here. This is default plant. It allows you to see it, and they basically have no cover whatsoever unless they place like an OSA shield down, which then you can impact. I don't know. There really isn't much for them to do here. I mean, they can smoke it, but Warden is very commonly played, so smoking and planting into it is not really the smartest thing. You can also C4, obviously, that you should have at least one C4 on your team. So there really, in my opinion, is not much that they can do, and there's so many angles that you can be playing. You can be over here, you can be over here, you can be over here, you can be like over here, waiting to swing. Then with this Kiba barrier, you have an angle over here. Then you can be behind the half wall. And I just, like, attacking this, I don't know what I would do. And I would just feel so uncomfortable if this was destroyed that I would just not go here and I would go to the other side. So now for the other side, the 3 Kibas are pretty simple. This one, you basically place right around here. And then what I like to do, personally, is place one around the middle over here. And then place one on the door. Now, what this allows you to do is just watch this door. This should be reinforced. Watch this door without... I mean, they're gonna have to crouch. Like, it's so hard to see. I just broke the Kiba barrier, but I'm gonna show you. It's so hard to see. It's so hard to see someone there. Like, the Kiba barrier would be up to here. It is so hard to see someone there. And it's such a good spot. This Kiba is basically... when you're playing this spot is to protect you from the window, obviously. If they break this, then you probably have to abandon this strat, but yeah. And then also, if you get up onto the computer, it really isn't that hard. You can have a really nice angle onto the window, like you can be from many different angles. You also still have the opportunity to swing this stairwell. And then without breaking the barrier, you can actually still get on top of the the cabinets. So this is my setup for for Armory, 2nd floor, and let's move on to the 1st floor. So now for workshop on the 1st floor, I like to place my first Azami over here. On this corner right here of this table. It allows you to, again, it creates 2 different angles, and I mean, when you're peeking workshop, there's just so many positions where the enemy could be, and this Kiba just makes it that much harder. Also, you're hidden by this blue box from the rotate. That sometimes is here, so some teams like to do a rotate here and play bathroom, but I like to reinforce it. So even if they breach it, I mean, you're still going to be covered from there. Obviously reinforce the hatch, and this one as well. Then we're going to come over here, make a rotate over here. This is a pretty basic default rotate. Then I like to put one Kiba over here. This basically just allows you to play on the table and have a really good angle for the window. Somebody should be playing, one of your teammates should definitely be playing Armory above, so that you don't get bucked or fused, especially fused, because if there's like one fuse charge over here, it's going to destroy all of the Kibas that I'm just prepping. So I like to place one on the door over here. This also gives you kind of an angle for people who are coming from the left. To people who are coming from the right, from the outside, they're going to be able to probably see you well, but if you are at least good enough. If you don't want that to happen, you could also extend it by placing it somewhere over here, then having basically only like this visible. But I personally prefer this setup, and then I also like to place one over here around this yellow line, and this just creates another angle for the door, so that for the window, so that coming from the window is basically coming into the side from the window is basically impossible. I mean, they're gonna look at this and they're gonna be like, okay, I'm not gonna go here, and they're gonna try and go from here maybe. When you're gonna have most likely a teammate playing over here in this kind of area, or roaming over here, so they can refrag you if you get pushed by them. I maybe would recommend extending it a little bit more if you're scared of it, and also it creates this nice corridor on B to play around with, because so when you're peeking the window, you're not visible from the door. When you're peeking the door, you're not really visible from the window. And also you can make another rotate over here if you really want to, or you can extend this wall by placing a Kiba over here, so that this rotate is covered as well if you want to make a rotate over here. So now, last but not least, if you're playing tellers in bathroom, you want want to reinforce those 4 walls. This is going into workshop. You want to reinforce that hatch. There's usually a rotate over here. Also reinforce all of those walls. And I like to make it rotate over here. This opens up the side a lot. This side can sometimes feel a bit tight. You don't have a lot of places to hide or to play. But with this rotate, I think it opens it up very nicely. And also with these Kiba barriers, just place them like so. It's gonna cover the rotate from the balcony, and it's just gonna be very nice playing behind here. Also combined with this. So you're just gonna basically have 2 nice angles to swing into customs and into passport. You're gonna be able to hold east stairs much safer than before. There's still a little bit of a gap, which sometimes can be a little bit annoying. But if you play like this, you can hold east stairs, especially if you add some like barbed wire or some protection. You can also play with like a shield maybe over here or over here. But anyways, this is a very good and safe play. Also, what I like to sometimes do is put a Kiba over here. Again, you can play this Kiba. If somebody's playing that right there, this Kiba is incredible for the window. I mean, they will never come inside if they see this. You can also play behind it like this. You can swing. Yeah, this is basically the setup that I would use for tellers. So now we're on Chalet, and you want to set up your site like this. Basically, just the default reinforces. You can also pair it with a mirror window over here. You want to create this hole basically so that you can peek the hallway so that they can't run into piano. Now I like to put my first Kiba over here on the edge of this table. It just creates a really nice angle that you can hold the balcony door with. Also, it completely covers this rotate, which is the most common rotate from B to A from this hole. So if an attacker tries to peek over here and you know, he's gonna have the slightest angle, the smallest angle. Nobody's really gonna be holding that. So it covers the rotate and it just gives you nice angles to play around. Then this window is always a huge problem. You can potentially put a Kiba over here if you want to cover the rotate from the window, but I think most importantly you want to cover this door. That's why I like to put my Kiba on the top left of the bomb here. What that does is it basically completely covers the window. The only angles that they will have on you is just very small angles, especially when they're upside down rappelling. These windows are also very dangerous, and then you have a window over here, so you're gonna place a Kiba somewhere over here basically, so that your player that's playing in this room, whether he's playing stairs or whether he's playing over here, he's not gonna have to worry about this window, and he can play something like this without getting killed from behind, and he can watch those windows if somebody's pushing them, or he can watch the stairs. And then the next Kibas, the last 2 Kibas, is where you're going to be playing as Azami most likely, all the time. So the first Kiba, so you're going to be playing in library. This is my library setup that I like to use. It is kind of silver-like, but I mean, I like it. You have a reinforce here, and then you can peek from both sides of the window, which I think if you see this, you're not going to want to jump out of that window. I like to put my Kiba somewhere on this table, usually in the middle, kind of over here. What this does is it completely covers this door from the double window in library. It allows you to focus more on this window as well. If you see this, you're not gonna jump inside of library. You're just not. And then the last one, also to create one more angle and to cover yourself from people peeking you here. You can place it either here or here. So the second from the left or the third from the left. I like to probably place it over here. I would place it also on the bottom part of it. What this does is it creates a really nice angle like this, where they can only see your head. And then you can also place it on the top part of it if you want to be covered while standing. I like this more, but yeah, again, you can place it over here if you want on the second row. And these are basically all of the Kibas for second floor. And as Azami, you want to play library and basically just hold that double window, and main stairs. Okay, and now for basement, we're gonna throw one over here. This is the one I like to use first. The start of the round, it basically covers this drone hole, so there no drones can get inside or outside. And also for grenades, they can break it if they want to later in the round, but I really like placing that one. And the second one, I think, would be this one. Just throw it somewhere over here. And it's just gonna create this incredible angle that you can hold. I mean, you're basically only gonna see their feet, and well, if they want to see you, they have to prone, and if they prone, you're gonna kill them easily. This is an incredible angle, incredible Kiba barrier, probably the best one on this map. And then you want to reinforce this as well, of course, and then place your Kiba. I like to place it on the left. You sometimes see it on the middle, but I like to place it somewhere over here. So that, first of all, it's actually blocked over here. I actually like this getting blocked so that, you know, if I maybe get downed, they can't push me, or, you know, they have to break this Kiba to get over here and swing on my other teammates. If they kill me, they can't really run into the side and kill my other teammates. So I like to get it blocked off. And also it creates this nice angle into small garage, which if you're good, you're gonna hit some headshots here. And also it just gives you this, you know, it just gives you the power of peeking from the right as well from the left, as well as from the left. Then the other Kiba over here on this table, you can play behind it. You might actually want to place it maybe a little bit more to the left, like over here. Because then you will get like a really good angle from here as well. So maybe a little bit closer to the center than I threw it. But basically what this does is if they breach this reinforce, it doesn't matter because you have this incredible Kiba which you can play behind. And yeah, I don't know. It's just, if you see this again, if you see this as an attacker, you're gonna be like, okay, well, I'm not going here, and you're gonna go other, you know, you're gonna go to the other stairs, which we've already covered. So this one's covered. Now how do we cover the main stairs? Obviously the main reinforce should be Bandit and Tubarão playing together. But how do we cover the main stairs? I personally like to do this. So somewhere over here, we place it, and then I think the best position to play this from is probably something like this. If the main reinforce is not open, if the main reinforce is open, well then you can play it something like this. Now they will see you when they're crouching, but it's still a really uncomfortable position. They will only see you if they're very far to the wall. They will see your legs, but it's still a really uncomfortable position to peek. Like if you're trying to peek sight like this, you know, I mean, you're gonna see connector, but I think the best position also, if they haven't destroyed this, which is very commonly destroyed with like an ace, obviously this. I mean, they won't see you almost at all. It's such a hard position or it's such a bad place to rush main stairs from, or side from, if this Kiba is on the main stairs. So yeah, I think this is one of the better Kibas also, and this is basically how I would like to set up my basement. Okay, so now we're at Clubhouse, and we're gonna start off in CCTV. This is probably my favorite site to play as Azami on this map. It's really good. I mean, I have really nice setups here. So the first thing you want to do, break these chairs. You want to place your Azami in the middle of this, and then I like to place the Azami as low as I can on the door. If you want, you can also destroy this right here. And basically what this allows you to do is it allows you to have a really nice angle on construction, even if they destroy this Kiba, which this one is basically so they have to come close and melee it or destroy it from a range with you know, so you're gonna waste an ash. You're gonna waste an ash on this one. Obviously, if they don't, and if they want to come inside through here, you're gonna have the best and easiest angle ever. Now this rotate on red stairs, I made it sometimes you would want to make it a little bit closer to the left here, and maybe not so wide, or you would want to make it over here instead, because if you're going to be playing here, you're going to be exposed to red stairs. So either make the rotate only over here, like very close to the wall, or make the rotate over here and reinforce this, or have a player on red stairs covering you. Make sure there's at least one player on red stairs always, to be fair. Then what I like to do over here, this is kind of with every operator, I like to make a rotate over here. You see this almost every match, to be fair. It's a really nice jump rotate from money to side. It also allows you to have some angles over here. So this is not really an Azami trick, this is just a trick in general. It allows you to have some nice angles, and you can surprise people who don't know about this. And then the last two keyboards are going to go in garage. I think everybody knows this. I like to put them a little bit lower than usual, so somewhere like here. I like to put them a little bit lower than I think you would maybe see most people put them. So we put one over here. Then you can either put one over here, or if you really want to play like aggressive, you can put one over here. But I like to probably put it over here. So yeah, obviously they watch out for this. This is the only door that they can enter garage in. Obviously there's a soft wall here and there's a soft wall below you, so make sure you watch out for that. You can then destroy this door. If there's a claymore, you can run out, because nobody's gonna be pushing garage if they see this, if they see these zombies. So this is my setup for garage. Also, you should probably reinforce this. And let's move on to basement. So now we're in basement. This is the default rotate to blue, so we're gonna be securing it. So first of all, destroy these chairs, because playing around these chairs is just a nightmare. Then you want to place your Kiba somewhere over here, and your second Kiba is gonna be over here. So these two Kibas, what do they do? Well, this Kiba protects the rotate completely from this room right here, and then this Kiba completely protects anyone coming from here to here from this door. And also they both double as really nice Kibas that you can use to protect blue. You can either be on the table for both of them, or you can play behind them, and you know, they're just really good Kibas. These are really good, I think, essential Kibas. The next Kibas that I'm going to throw are for the hatch. We're going to break it. Obviously we're not going to break it in the match, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what it looks like also from up there. So here obviously you have a really good angle from the hatch onto the site, so anybody standing here or playing here or rotating is gonna get shot from the hatch if it's broken. Now what you can do is you can place your first Kiba somewhere over here, and then your second one basically here. Now what these Kibas do is they completely protect this, and they protect even someone playing. Well, they can still see you over here, but they basically protect anyone playing and rotating in and around the site. And I mean, they're just incredible because this position right here is now completely covered, right? You can hold tunnel with it, you can hold blue from here, you can make a leg hole here, you can play it from here, and you don't have to worry about the hatch whatsoever. The last Kiba, a lot of people like to use it sometimes over here, sometimes over here. I like to personally sometimes put it over here because I don't like playing against tunnel, so sometimes I just put it over here so that they have a harder time getting out of tunnel. But also I think a really good one is either you place it over here, here, or here, doesn't really matter. So you can place it here. What this does is it completely covers the hatch when you're playing back of Armory. You can hold tunnel, you can hold the hatch, you can hold all of these angles while basically not having to worry about the hatch and the window whatsoever. So I think this is really good. Also, it kind of doubles as like a little hiding spot over here. But I'm just gonna show you why these two Kibas are just so incredible. Because when you're in the hatch, everybody knows that this angle is incredible. To the back of to the rotate basically here, and you basically can't see anything. You can see their legs when they're over here, but they're not really gonna show them to, you know, they're not gonna stand there for long. They might run past you, but you're not really gonna be able to see them. And with this one, you can't really see anything either. So yeah, these Kibas are really good. This is how you secure basement, and I'm gonna show you a few Kibas in gym as well. And for the last site of Clubhouse, now we're in gym. Now I wouldn't usually recommend you bring Azami here, but if you want to, I really like doing this. So just cover this, because these windows are very annoying to deal with. Also, you could technically do it on the other side if you want to protect. If you bring Bandit. For example, you really want to protect this, then you can also do it on the other side instead. But I like doing this because it just allows you to play over here, and you have just very nice angles, and it gives you so much protection. And then I like to do the same thing on the other side, basically. Now this, instead of, I mean, it will leave a gap here, but what it does is it protects you from the window when you're rotating in and out of bathroom. This should be reinforced, of course, and it just allows you to only focus on certain angles, and it gives you it still gives you this angle so that the guy from the window can't just jump in. And then the last one I like to put over here somewhere. Just it gives you another angle to play with when you're playing behind it. The only angles that you're exposed to really are this door, right? And then obviously anybody running from over there. But this is a really nice one, and yeah, it gives you a lot of angles. You can also play it the other way around. I don't think you can jump on that, but yeah, you can play it like this. You can play it like this. It just gives this guy coming from the roof. It gives him one more angle to look at, and you know he's gonna have to be very aware of where to check. But yeah, this is my setup for gym. I personally wouldn't necessarily bring Azami here all the time, but if you want to try this, you can try it. Welcome to the best map in the game, or one of the best maps in the game, Coastline. So, first of all, when you're playing Hookah, you gotta make these rotates. This one, gotta probably make this one. This, I like to reinforce the middle wall. This right here, you don't have to necessarily make a second rotate here, but I like it. It just opens up the side a lot. And then this one into aquarium. So the first Kiba goes over here. It's the most important one, I think. This window is incredibly annoying, and when you're stood outside it, you can actually see like a lot. You can see a whole lot, especially when you're rappelling. And now that there's a Kiba there, you won't really be able to see anything. Like you will be able to still see this door right here. So that's what you have to obviously watch out for if you're rotating in. But I don't think it's really that big of a deal. You have this this rotate here to hold it, so it's fine. Second Kiba, we'll go over here. There's this little grate, and there's a lot of objects here that like I don't really want to get rid of them. So I mean, this Kiba just gives you much more cover. Instead of using this grate, and it just gives you something to hide behind, which is completely bulletproof. So yeah, it creates a really nice angle. You can hold it from a long distance as well, like this, instead of having to hold like this. So yeah, it just creates a really nice angle. The third Kiba I'd probably put over here, middle of this couch, middle top of this couch. It creates two really nice angles. I don't think I've ever died in this position, actually. I think I got like 15 kills out of this position. I did not die a single time, especially if you place like an ADS here. It's going to be one of the best positions on the game, on the map, because they're still exposed from sight when they're coming out of baggage. There can still be a player in bar, so the only thing they can really do is flash you or nade you. So with an ADS, this position is one of the best positions on the map. Then I like to place a Kiba over here, which basically allows you to play against window if they break it, and it allows you to play to watch B, to watch VIP, and then also, as I just broke it, also it completely covers this kind of rotate. There's a small hole here, but you're not going to be seen if you're going to be playing this. So it completely covers when you want to come into side. If somebody's pushing from baggage, this is basically what it's for. Then the fifth one, which I broke, I actually don't really have a spot for it, but I sometimes throw it over here so that I can play, for example, here, watching VIP. So I throw it over here maybe so I don't get seen from the window. There's usually like a glass camped on spawn or Kali, you know. Or you could technically, for example, put it here so that you're not seen from the roof as much when you're rotating over here. Or you could just use it situationally, like maybe here when you're defending side, or over here somewhere. But these are basically the most essential Kibas. Let's move on to over there, which is bedroom. So now we're in bedroom, and we're gonna make a rotate over here, and we're gonna make a leg hole over here. This is basically what's, I think, the best setup for this side. Now, if you're in a low rank, you might see all of these three walls reinforced. Now, I'm here to tell you you're doing it wrong. If you're, I think, anywhere above plat, you're gonna always have this wall open and you're gonna be playing VIP while you have the bomb site in bedroom. So how to set up VIP is basically very simple. You throw a Kiba somewhere over here, you throw a Kiba somewhere over here. You can either throw it over here, you can throw one here so you can play this table, which I think is really nice. It really depends on what you want to do. I'm going to throw this one over here. It just creates, you know, so many incredible angles. If you break this, you can't break that. That's a new one. Well, obviously reinforce VIP, reinforce these two walls, and yeah. Next Kiba is going to be over here on the top right of the bomb. You might be wondering what this does. Well, it covers basically this position. You're going to also want to reinforce these two walls, obviously, so that if somebody's trying to wallbang you either from the roof or from the hallway, they can't. And this Kiba, what it does is it completely blocks off the window, except if they're upside down rappelling, like over there. But it's gonna be it's gonna be impossible to see you from the window. And the last Kiba is over here. I'm gonna break this table. And honestly, you can place it anywhere, but I actually like to place it like here, kind of, so that you still have an angle here. If you really want to, you can still peek this left, this left side. What it does is it opens up an angle for them, obviously, as well, but they can't see into the rotate, so I think it's completely fine. And yeah, I think these are the best kiosks. Instead of this, you can put one over here. You can put one over here, potentially even on the other side. This one is really just wherever you want to put it, and it should also be the last one you place down. This one, you can also place it on the bed if you really want. There's a lot of things you can do with it, but this is how you should set up your bedroom site. And let's go to kitchen. So now we're in kitchen, and you basically just want to make a rotate over here. Sometimes you see a rotate over here because this wall gets destroyed from upstairs usually, but I would probably recommend reinforcing it all the way. Now this window is probably the biggest problem of this site. This was why we throw a Kiba over here to basically completely cut off the window. You can still have an angle. You can place it a little bit more to the left if you want. I just like to place it in the middle. Now this one is gonna go under the box. What this is gonna do is it's gonna completely cover this door, this rotate as well from blue bar and rainbow and sunshine, but you can still peek it. You still have a very nice angle to peek it. This should be your first Kiba, by the way. I skipped this one. This should be the first one. You place it over here, basically. And it's a really, really important Kiba because this window is just extremely annoying to deal with as a defender. So, because they can see you from the main door, and this basically completely covers it. This is the most important Kiba on the site. And then the two last Kibas place over here. As you can see on the there was like a line. It keeps this angle, right? I like to keep this angle because if somebody's pushing in or planting over there, I really want to see them, right? I don't want to block them off, as in like I don't want to give them a free plant. And then the other one you're just gonna place in the middle here. Now you're not gonna have an angle on them in the middle, but if you have a C4, you can still deny plant and stuff like that. But this is just so you can rotate in and out of kitchen. And again, I personally would recommend leaving this. I would recommend leaving this small. This is why I placed it exactly where I placed it, because this window is very easy to plant. If you have Ying or Montaigne or something like that, Montagne, yeah. Honestly, just leave it there, and this is how you should play kitchen. Alright, so now we're on the newly reworked Consulate. And what I like to do is I like to make two rotates over here. So from A to B, and then from A to this meeting hall. Now, I like to also impact this. And now we're gonna place two Azamis on this table. Notice how this is kind of a half circle. So it's missing. It's a circle, but it's missing this part. We have to place it on this part of the pole. Otherwise, if we place it here, it's gonna bug out. So make sure you place it here. And the second one is gonna be on the other side because it's a half circle to the other side, like this. And once we place these, what is this gonna do for us? Well, it's gonna almost completely cover off the bathroom angle to A, but it's actually, I mean, nobody's gonna kill you through here unless they're playing as like Shaiko or something. Yeah, this just, I mean, when you peek and you see this, you're like, okay, well, this is not very good. So yeah, again, it would be incredible player with like an ADS here, so they can't nade you or flash you, but yeah, this is just a really strong, I think, angle. Now, there's this window here, which nobody ever goes on. Nobody repels here. The only time I've ever seen anyone use this window is either for spawn peaks or a Maru flying in. But if they see this on their drones, or maybe they come inside and they see this, they're going to tell their teammates, can you please go on this window and kill this guy? Well, just in case that happens, we're going to place an Azami here, and we're going to place an Azami here. Kind of like here. Yeah, what that does, obviously, protects us. Now, the last Azami, there's a few spots where you can place it. I like to place it over here. I'm going to place it here. I just think that it creates a really nice angle, and it just gives you so much cover. You can watch the window, you can watch Yellow Stairs, the lobby over here. Honestly, I think that it's really easy to play this side of A because we have this whole, like, so many rooms here. Like, you don't need Azamis over here. What you could do with the last Azami also is maybe destroy this chair, and then place it like middle, and then you can play around it, or you could place it over here on top, and it's actually going to give you protection from the window, so you can run freely through here. Yeah, I don't think they can see you from the window when you're behind the desk, but if you place an Azami here, you can run over here as well. They're not going to see you, and they're going to have to crouch to get under it. But I think these are really, really good Azamis for second floor, and now we're going to go on to basement. Alright, now we're in basement, and yeah, this is, I think, one of the best sites to secure it as Azami. It's really simple. You just want to throw your Azami in the middle. I like to put it in the middle. Sometimes you see people putting it more to the left so they can see the right side of the reinforced, but I like to put it in the middle. I think the middle is the better version of this. Then you can also get on top of this box and you can see over it, which is really nice. I don't think people would really expect that. You can see over it to the left reinforce, and you can even kind of see the right side of the reinforce if you go over here. So it's really nice, and you can even play behind it, but it's mostly to protect this player. Just you know, if you're an anchor, this is a common spot to hold. The second Kiba will be to protect this rotate right here. This is a default rotate. Everybody should always make this rotate. And this Kiba is going to be from this side, and I like to place it over here, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, there we go. Now, it will leave a little bit of a, you know, like a Pac-Man hole, kind of a triangle shape hole in it, which sometimes they can shoot you through it if they're good, but I think this is the best you will get because of this. What you can do also, you can throw it here if you want to, which I honestly wouldn't mind. Then you can jump on top of it and you can basically watch garage. You can play garage. And then I like to place one Kiba here. And now what this does is you can watch the door very easily. It's a really nice angle. And the last Kiba would be here. Just to give additional cover. And then the last, honestly, the last Kiba, I don't really have a place for it, but I would probably place it here. So that it's just actually maybe over here, yeah. So just so you create more cover for players playing it down here. You could also place one over here on the door, on the door ledge, so you have a leg angle. But I mean, you can do anything you want really. You can even make a rotate here and don't have this Kiba here, but it's up to you. This is how I like to play basement. I think these two Kibas right here are the most important, and yeah, this is, I think, a really good setup for basement. Alright, so now we're on Emerald Plains. We're gonna start off by making a rotate over here. Don't make the rotate over here, because if you make the rotate over here, you're covered by the bomb completely from that door. make sure you destroy this radio. Everybody needs to do that. So then you want to destroy this chair right here. And throw Kiba around over here. What this does is it completely covers the rotate from that door right there, from painting. If anybody wants to get an angle, maybe actually throw it a little bit more to the right, so throw it over here. Then we're going to destroy more chairs. We're going to destroy this computer and this one as well. We're going to throw Kiba over here. Now we destroyed these, this chair and this computer just so we can have a better angle. I mean, this angle right here is incredible. You can see all the way over there. And even if somebody gets close, you're going to be able to kill them much easier than they're going to be able to kill you. Literally, they're not going to be able to see you almost at all. It's going to be so hard for them to kill you unless they break this. The next Kiba, somewhere over here. Now we broke this so that we can get on the table much easier, and we can play around it like this. You can also pair it with a Kiba over here on this door. It's going to be very good, but I don't know. I personally like to place 2 more over here. So over here on the bomb, so that if somebody's playing that window, you basically are completely covered when you're rotating. And then the last one, somewhere in the middle over here. There's gonna be an angle over here still, which is gonna be fine because they're not gonna be able to kill you. But this one is basically so that you can rotate freely over here without getting shot from over there. And as I said, maybe if you don't want to have this Kiba, you can place one over here on the door, and it will create a really nice leg angle for you to hold. You have to also be aware of the breach, so that you don't give them a free plant, which you're not going to give them a free plant, because you can swing this very easily. But yeah, this is a very nice setup for second floor on Emerald Plain. So now we're on the second side of second floor, and it's basically right here. This room has the bomb site instead. We're going to throw the same Kiba over here on this window. It serves the same purpose as before, so that we can rotate on the side freely. Then these walls right here, they are not bulletproof. They can be shot through. So we're gonna throw a Kiba here to protect us from this window right here, and to protect us from this room also, because there's a door and a window. We're gonna throw a Kiba on this wall right here. And once these walls are protected, we're gonna throw one over here in the middle. It's gonna leave a small gap over here so that we can see into that room, and then over here as well. And then to protect us from the window, we're gonna throw one over here. From the window and here. Now, this wall is still soft, so people can't shoot through it, but if you stay over here, if you stay tucked in, they're not really gonna be able to see you. Obviously, you wanna have a player playing here, but this is a setup, I think, a really nice setup for this site. What you can also do, instead of that, you can throw a Kiba over here on this table right here, and then you can play kind of behind it and watch this door. Maybe also watch over there. So now we're on Kafe. We're on top floor. You want to rotate. You want to make a rotate over here. And what I like to do at the start of the round is secure skylight. So we're gonna throw one Kiba over here, which is gonna allow us to rotate in and out of over here. And there's just gonna be so many new angles, like this, for example. You're gonna be able to hold maybe even this, but they're gonna see our legs so much out. And then we're gonna do this same thing on the other side. This is just nice. It's really annoying to play against when you're in skylight, like seeing this. So it's not perfect, but it does the job. And then we obviously need to secure piano for your teammates who are going to be playing here, maybe yourself. So the first Kiba, probably put it around like here, and then the second Kiba right here. What this does is basically it completely blocks off these two windows, so you have so much more space to play with, but there's still one window which is not covered, so I'd place it somewhere over here. Now, what this does, it actually also a lot of people like to hold this window or beyond this window and hold this right here, so that you can't rotate out of blue stairs, out of white stairs to piano, and it also just protects you when you're going onto red stairs. And I don't know, it's just really good. Also playing on these windows is going to be really tough. Because there's so many angles that they could be camped at or holding. So this is how I would set up my piano, and let's move on to the first floor. So now we're in kitchen on Kafe, and I like to set it up like this. There's a reinforce here so that your players over here are protected, they can't get wall banged. Then you make head holes over here, and you make leg holes over here so that you can see anybody coming in like this, and you can beat them from here. So, the first Kiba should probably go into bakery over here. This one is very simple. It's just to protect the player. Playing in bakery because there's a big hole, big gap over here in the counter. So, just to give him more cover. I like to do leg holes over here. Just make the leg holes over here. If you're pushing into bakery, this is going to be really annoying to deal with because this player over here in this window can see your legs and you can't do anything about it. Unless you have a Buck or an Ash or a Zofia. Then the next one, slightly right of the center, over here, leaves you a very nice angle here and a pretty tight angle here. I like to have this one tight because they can abuse this angle when they get close, but this is usually destroyed when they're closed already. Then this is the most important Kiba in my opinion, over here. There's two functions. It gives you two really nice angles to hold main door with, but it also completely covers you when you're jumping in and out of freezer. They don't see you at all from main door. This one Kiba right here is kind of experimental, but I really like using this. It's a really good Kiba. It gives you really nice angles on main door, and I mean you can literally have like 4 different places where you can be. It's really unpredictable, and you can even hold this with like an SMG. And also, if you break this late round, you can have an angle over here into all the way over there. And then if you break this, you have an angle all the way to bakery if they breach the wall, so that you can see all the way. And it's really hard for them to see you, especially like this. I'm basically shooting at their legs right now. They don't see me at all. I'm going to show you what it looks like from their perspective. So they just see a Kiba, and they don't even see my head because there's a counter there. So they have to get very close, and then they have to crouch to even see me. So it's a really nice angle. And then the last Kiba, if they breach this wall, throw it somewhere over here. If they breach this wall, maybe throw it here for more cover. This wall is kind of hard to breach, but if they breach main bakery wall, just place it over here so you have more cover. More places where you can be, more places where you can hide. And yeah, just play around it. And these are really nice Kiba, so this is how I like to set up my kitchen on Kafe. Okay, so now we're on Kanal, and as you know, this usually gets reinforced, this usually also gets reinforced, and there's a leg hole always made here. So this is my and my friend's invention. Sometimes you would see an Azami over here, because if they have an Ash or a Buck or something like that, they would destroy this, or maybe they just shoot through this. Sometimes they just spam through this because it's a really easy kill to get. Sometimes on players playing over here, maybe it's a really easy kill to get. But I don't like throwing my Azami here because if a Buck destroys it, if a Buck destroys the wall, if they have a shotgun to destroy the wall, it's gonna get destroyed, the Azami as well. So I like to place it over here, and then the second one over here. Now what this is going to do is it's completely going to protect the wall. And now the only way that you're going to destroy this is if you melee it or if you destroy it with a Gone 6 or an Ash charge. So this just kind of protects you completely. You can still hold the hallway while prone. You can still hold this angle, which is really good. And yeah, it just protects you overall. And then the last 3 Kibas, very simple. First one over here. I like to break these chairs because they're annoying. It's just gonna give you a nice angle here. It's gonna give you a pixel peek over here. pixel angle onto this window. It's going to also give you an angle to hold the door, and it's just going to protect you from over here when you're standing over here. And then the last two Kibas are going to be over here, so you're going to throw it at the top of this, like that, and then like that. You're just going to get an insane angle. Also break this, because it's annoying. It's going to give you an insane angle. You can throw it maybe a little lower than I did if you want to. It's just going to give you such a good angle. Also break this. It's going to give you such a good angle onto bridge. Also, sometimes you get shot from this window. What you can do is you can either place a Kiba here, or you can just place a Kiba directly on the window instead of placing this one. This one should be the last one you place, because it's usually when they breach this wall, which you're going to be trying to prevent as bandit. Maybe Tubarao as well, but yeah. I really like this setup right here, and let's move on to basement. Okay, so now we're on Kanal basement, and we're gonna first make a rotate over here, then we're gonna throw a Kiba over here. This Kiba basically protects this position right here from the lockers angle. Then we're gonna place a Kiba over here in the middle. This is gonna give us a really nice angle on yellow stairs and on that room right there. Then we're gonna place a Kiba over here on yellow stairs, like this, so that it's really hard for yellow stairs players to see anything, and they have to go all the way to the right to even see sight, or they have to melee this or destroy this somehow. It's gonna be really hard for them to deal with that. As you can see, we're still covered from the lockers because of this top part. And we can actually see their feet. We can shoot their feet. We can shoot them as they're running past the Kiba on the left. It's going to be such an easy kill if they decide to just rush it, and if we're holding this angle. Then the next Kiba is going to go on main stairs. You can also place a Kiba somewhere over here, or maybe over here into lockers to help one of the players here. But I like to place one here. This might upset the roamers because you have to actually prone under this one. You actually cannot crouch under. Ooh, actually I threw it. I think you're supposed to throw it a little bit more to the left. Yeah, I threw it too far to the right. But if you throw this correctly, so like over here, you actually cannot crouch under this. You have to prone under this. So maybe your roamers, when they're returning from a roam, they might be upset about this, and they might break it, or they might be upset that they have to prone under it. But I think this is nice because if anybody tries to rush down main stairs, they're just gonna have to either destroy this or prone. Either way, you're gonna have the info. You're gonna kill them easily. The last Kiba, I think, is situational. You can use it later in the round, maybe to place over here on one of these. But I like to also do this later in the round. To combine this Kiba right here with this, it's such an incredible position. You don't have the angle to yellow stairs anymore unless you go down here, which is still a great angle. But this just again allows you to hold a leg angle. They're not going to be able to destroy it without you getting some good damage on them. So this is how I like to set up my basement on Kanal, and let's move on to the next map. Okay, so now we're on the newest map, Lair, and we're in second floor. There's a few really good Kibas here. First we're gonna make a rotate here. We're gonna make a rotate here so that we can get into the table, or behind the table. And then we're gonna throw Kiba here. Now what this does, again, you can play behind it, you can play on the table, it gives you really nice cover. You can play around it as well. Like this, it gives you also some mild protection against the breach push, like you can play around it a little bit. But for the breach push, we're gonna place a Kiba over here. Make sure to reinforce this. I see a rotate here very often. I like to reinforce this instead. Then you can get, but don't sprint when you get on this, because if you do, you're gonna break it. So either go from the side, or you have to stand still. And then you can get on the table. It leaves a really nice angle here for the door, unexpected angle. And then also, this is so good to hold the door and to hold the breach. This is so good to hold the breach. If they breach it, you're going to be able to hold it so well. And then you maybe have a teammate over here playing, and then he can throw C4 if they try to plant in a smoke or something. Then, this right here is really good. So this is kind of a double use Kiba. So first, it gives you it creates a completely brand new angle over here. Maybe reinforce this hatch before you place this if you really want to feel safe. But it creates a completely new angle to hold this door. And then also, it gives this player right here so much cover so that he can hold this door and then also have such a nice angle with this. Like, this Kiba is perfect in my opinion, because it's a double use. It's really good. And then we're going to throw Kiba around over here. This is basically just gonna protect the player from this rotate, just in case, and it's gonna completely protect you from the rotate, so that you can watch this door. And if this player in this room falls, that you're still protected, and it's really hard to deal with all of this. And then the last one, somewhere on the middle of this table, basically completely cuts off this door from this rotate, so that you can come into this room without having to worry about, a player who's pushed up over here. He's not going to be able to see, and this is really really difficult and really dangerous to push. And also just gives you really nice angles. You can also place it on the other side of the table, like right over here, but that's a little bit more aggressive, and it could give them a really nice Kiba instead. So watch out for that. But this is a really nice setup for second floor. Make sure to reinforce this and this, in my opinion, and make a rotate here. And yeah, now we're moving on to basement. And now for basement, I have a few really nice Kibas. So for the first one, we throw it in the middle of this. Now what's good about this Kiba is that even though it's on a soft surface that you can destroy, even if the attackers completely destroy this surface with bullets or like a buck or something, it will still hold up because it sticks to these sides. And obviously what we can do with this is we can just peek around it and have a really nice angle to hold these stairs over here. Then we're gonna go over here, and if you break these microscopes, you can get on this table. Also, if you break this, you can get on this table, and you can hold this pixel angle right here. And then also, if you throw a Kiba, I would say about here, you can still get on the table without breaking it, and then you can have a really nice crouch angle all the way into the door from garage. And then also you can play around it, and just seeing this just makes you uncomfortable already. Then the default rotate is over here always, so if somebody peeks it from this door, we don't want him to be able to see into the rotate. So we're gonna throw the Kiba on top of this kind of fridge here. Now, the thing is, I actually threw it incorrectly. You should throw it over here. The thing is, this actually acts as a double Kiba, because first of all, it blocks the rotate, but it also creates a really nice position here with which you can play. Then, so that if somebody rushes into this site, over here, into lab, we're gonna throw a Kiba here, so that it completely covers the rotate, so they can't see the rotate from here, so that you can rotate onto the site and then have a decent fight with them instead of getting shot from across the room. Because as defenders, you always want to close in as close as possible, because they have ACOGs and such. So, and also it just gives you another incredible angle. If this Kiba right here goes down because of a Gon 6 or an Ash charge, you still have this one. It's really nice, and it's a really big power position to play here. Play this pixel angle, and then come here and play that. And then the last Kiba, you can place it kind of anywhere. I like to place it over here, because I broke it, I don't have it, but like over here. And then again, you can either be on the table, play behind it, or just play around it, and it's really nice. There's a door over here which leads to the outside. If you're afraid of this, you can maybe also place a Kiba, for example, over here, and play over here and create another angle or something like that. But that's it for Lair basement, and let's move on to the next map. Now we're on Nighthaven labs, and we're on second floor. We're gonna reinforce this because we're gonna be playing behind this table right here. We're gonna destroy this chair, and we're gonna throw the Azami over here. This just gives you a really nice angle to hold this hallway with. There's usually leg holes over here. So as an attacker, if you see leg holes here, you know, somebody watching it, and then also this is Azami, you know, you're gonna have to nade it out. That's why there should be like an ADS here, maybe also here. Now this rotate is gonna be problematic because if we get too close to the barrier and we peek it, we're visible from that door right there. So we're gonna throw an Azami around here. This will basically cover us completely from the door. As you can see, they cannot see us at all. It's going to give us another angle to hold the door with, and it's still going to allow us to go through the rotate and still have a nice angle into the breach room. Now what I like to do, personally, is I like to put one over here, so I can stand on it, and then over here. Now what this does, again, you can watch their legs. I just broke it, but you can watch their legs. It's just really uncomfortable to play around as an attacker. They're almost not gonna see you. And then the last one I like to put over here in the middle, I would say. This is just a nice Kiba for the roamers, unless they open up that wall. This is really nice to hold the garage and breach room. You know, to especially support a player if there's a player over here. You can support him by holding this right here. And you can also play around it, like you can play like this. You don't have to be on the table. Same goes for this angle. It's just really nice. And when you when you're coming into sight as an attacker, you break this Kiba, for example, and then you see one more over there, and you see one more over there. You know, it's really tough to figure out where the defenders are, and it's really scary because there's just so many new angles. You know, if you walk into this room, usually there's 1 angle, 2 angles, 3 angles, 4, 5. With the Kiba barriers, you created literally like 3 new angles, and it's just overload for the attackers, and it's gonna help you win the round. And let's move on to basement. Okay, so now we're in basement, and this room right here is usually used for rushes. There's a hatch here, so make sure to reinforce that, and there's stairs over here as well. But if they still get over here, they're gonna have really nice angles onto the site, so we're gonna block them off by placing a Kiba over here. This basically blocks off this door completely, and it gives you a really nice angle when you're playing on this table, because it's really hard to predict that you're going to be there or where you're going to be when these Kibas are here. And then the second one is going to be here, just kind of over here, and it's even going to support this angle right here. It's just going to give you such a nice angle, and it's going to make it so difficult for them to see into sight. Then there's usually head holes over here, so we're going to make them. Head holes, so that this is an external wall. This is usually used for breaching, and this is the default plant right here onto the box, because it's the most safe spot on the site. So what we can do is we can place 1 Kiba here. Now this doesn't really give you any angles, and they're gonna think that this is blocked off, but if you actually stand over here on this table, you can actually see the box right here. So if they jump up onto the default plant spot, which is literally like, I think the bomb or the diffuser is planted there like 50% of the times, maybe 60%, you're gonna be able to get an easy kill, you know, if you see them jumping up. Then also sometimes there's only half head holes over here, and over here there's a mirror window and a reinforced wall. So if that's the case, what you can do is also throw Kiba right around here to protect it. Okay, never mind. It's gonna be right around here. Yeah, make sure you don't throw it on the part that's like tilted upwards, because it's gonna do that. And this last Kiba is basically gonna completely protect the mirror window from that door, and also it's gonna give you, you can't stand on that, but you can stand on this. It's gonna give you a really nice way to play this hallway right here, which is also commonly used for rushes. There's also a hatch here and stairs over there. So when they're gonna come over here, they're gonna see this, and it's gonna be really easy for you to get a kill here. So yeah, this is a really nice setup for basement. Also, your last Kiba you might put somewhere over here on this door, on this window, to block it off or something like that, or you can place it over here to help defend this part. So now we're on the best map in the game, or one of the best maps in the game, Oregon. We're in second floor. Make sure you destroy this radio. That's a tradition. Then the first Kiba is gonna go on the edge over here of this cupboard over here. Now what this does is there's usually a rotate over here. What this does is it allows you to first of all come from south stairs back into the site like this, or behind the bunk beds over here. So that you can watch window, and it's just I think this is like a default Kiba, like a really necessary Kiba, and it creates another angle, obviously a really nice angle to play the window with, and it's really annoying to face when you're playing window. Now this is a really nice strat right here, kind of like where these gold openers are. You throw the Kiba while proning, and then you throw the second one over here on the door, and then you will get a nasty angle on anyone coming from Armory or from bedroom. Now the only way they will see you, as you can see, I literally don't see the top. It's impossible to see the head at all. Even when you're here, when you're crouched, like you're gonna see that, which is not really gonna be enough, because I can see you from here. So yeah, the only way they can kill you is if they come very close to this wall and peek this, but this is a really dangerous thing to do, because I mean you're just gonna kill them. Like you're the one holding the angle. It's so easy for you. And then the last two Kibas is a strat, which I hope they won't fix, because I like using this. Kind of line yourself up with this white bottom part of the window, throw it kind of in the middle. Jump on this, then it's going to give you a vault prompt. You're going to jump on this, and then go to the back, go to the wall, find this, and then throw your Kiba basically like here. It's going to give you a vault prompt. Which I just messed up. Yeah, you got to line yourself up. There we go. It's going to give you a vault prompt, and then destroy this, basically destroy the evidence. And then obviously you have to reinforce this, and then if they breach this, it doesn't matter if it's Thermite, Ace, Maverick, it doesn't really matter. They're never gonna expect you up there. Like when you're peeking this, you're not even gonna see the player up there. Also, what you can do is you can open this wall like this, maybe. Just make some holes in the wall with your ACS, and then you can watch it from up there, and they're never gonna expect this angle. It's a completely impossible angle for them to check. I mean, who's gonna expect you to be up there? So yeah, this is how I like to set up my Oregon second floor, and let's move on to basement. So now we're in basement, and there's a few walls that we have to break. So we're gonna reinforce here, and we're gonna make head holes over here. We're going to make a rotate over here, and we're going to make a rotate over here, reinforce this as well, and then we're going to make head holes over here. The first Kiba goes into tunnel somewhere over here. Just a nice Kiba so that you can play around it, watch tunnel, extend the angle, extend the corner. Then the next Kiba, probably the most important one, just place it on the edge of the table here. It completely covers basically this rotate from A to B, basically, so that you won't get shot from main stairs at all, which is very nice. And then you can watch freezer. Now with this with these head holes right here, we're gonna utilize them very well by placing a Kiba over here. Now you can't run because of that. You cannot run down the stairs. And then the second one we're gonna place right around over here. So you literally can't run up or down the stairs. You have to crouch, and you don't see anything unless you crouch. And this is you're already exposed by then. I'm gonna show you the angle. It's a really nice angle. I mean, you can see their feet. You can easily kill them. It's really uncomfortable as attackers going down those stairs. And the last Kiba, you can place it either into freezer if you want to fortify freezer even more, or I think the most basic one is just to place it right around over here. And it just gives you a nice angle to hold the tunnel door. It also kind of doubles up as a Kiba to hold tower stairs, but it's just a really nice Kiba to extend the angle and yeah, this is how to fortify a basement. Basically, this is how everybody does it, I think. And let's move on to the next map. Alright, so now we're on Outback, and we're in Laundry, second floor. We're gonna make a rotate over here, because if we make it over here, we're gonna be visible all the way from Bull. So we're gonna make it over here. We're gonna make a hole over here, which we can then vault onto the washing machine, and we can see the breach and the window, which is a very nice position. But this rotate is going to be exposed to both bedroom and over there. So we're going to throw a Kiba over here so that we can cover it completely. And then one over here so that they can't see the rotate from bedroom. Now the next three Kibas, we're going to... For the next three Kibas, we're going to make a rotate over here. We're going to throw one over here. And then right around over here. And then, so that we're protected a little bit from the window, we're going to throw one over here. As you can see, we're protected a little bit. They can see a little bit of our feet if they really try, but they're not really going to try, in my opinion. It's just a waste of time. It's a little difficult seeing the feet. So we can peek into Bull, and we can peek over here as well, but it's going to be... We're going to be exposed a little bit from the window, but if you know nobody's there, you can pick it like this as well. So this is just a really nice setup for games and bathroom, and let's move on to setting up the other side. Okay, so now we're on the other side. In second floor on Outback, we're in party, and we're going to make the default rotate as you always make it, and then we're going to throw Kiba right about over here. It's going to completely cover the rotate from this door, and it's gonna give us also a slight angle over here that might be unexpected. Then to further fortify this side, we're gonna throw a Kiba in the middle over here. Sometimes it leaves a gap over here which you can peek through. You can put it a little bit more to the right. It's also quite nice, but it's just so that you have another angle to hold this with. And then the last three Kibas are gonna go on this side. So the first one I like to put here, so that when you're playing from garage, you don't see all the way back onto the breach. I mean, even the other way around. If they breach this, they're gonna have an angle all the way to garage. So this Kiba just works both ways. Just don't let them get near it. And also, if you break these, you can get onto the table and again have a really just incredible angle. And then we're gonna want to cover the rotate from garage as well. So we're gonna place it basically under this cup. And it also just gives you more angles to play around. And then I like to also, you could technically do something like this, but I like to put one over here. Just so, because I like to play a little bit, you know, outside of sight as well. So if we're playing in Bull, and I'm rotating back to side, I don't want to get shot from garage. If one of my teammates forgets to hold garage, he doesn't play it properly, I don't want to just get shot from here. So I'm gonna put a Azami here so I can play this, and it's also a really nice position. If you break this chair right here, you can also peek all the way into garage. You can also use it the other way around again. If you break this like printer, you can use it the other way. So this is a really nice setup, I think, for a party. And let's move on to the next map. Okay, so now we're on Skyscraper. Now you want to reinforce this and this, and you want to make a rotate over here. Destroy this radio, obviously. And I know a lot of you probably know this strat, but it's a really good strat. You cannot throw it from this side, because if you do, it's gonna go up and it's gonna ruin your view. Also, if you want to jump on this table, you cannot jump like this. You have to jump at an angle, otherwise you're gonna jump through the Kiba and you're gonna destroy it. So jump at an angle so you don't destroy it, and then place your second Kiba here. Now destroy these two sets of bottles right here. And after you do that, you're gonna have an incredible angle. onto this door right here. It's gonna be almost impossible for them to see you, but a lot of people know this, and a lot of people know this angle and know this trick, so they might actually see you and pre-fire you or pre-aim you if they see those two Kibas. But it's still a incredible angle. It's still an incredible angle nonetheless, and it's just especially in lower ranks, this is gonna get you so many kills. And if you get forced down, you can still have really good angles to hold on both doors. Then make a rotate over here, and then I like to just close down this room so it's simple, like this, and then place a Kiba on the middle of this, and it allows you to basically play around it, and then watch both of the balconies if they come through there. And then this basically covers you from the window, it covers you from this this angle right here, and this right here covers you from this peak right here. It makes them peak a little bit more wider. So this is the setup for office, and let's go to karaoke next. Okay, so now we're in Geisha. We have the site in karaoke, and we're gonna make a rotator here. You don't necessarily have to make a run rotate here, just a small rotate here, and then we're gonna place a Kiba middle top of the door, and the second one is gonna be around over here. What this is gonna do for us is it's gonna allow us to basically watch if somebody comes into the window, jumps from the window into the geisha, and we're gonna be able to see their legs, and they're not really gonna be able to see us. You can also destroy that right there, but I don't think you can. You can. There we go. So destroy that as well, so you have bigger line of sight, and then if they come over here, you're still gonna be able to kill them very easily. Now, obviously, to protect us from behind, we're gonna throw a Kiba here. You can play around it. It's a nice Kiba. It's just protection. Obviously, so you have to have a teammate playing Dragon for this to work. Otherwise, you're gonna get peeked from here and you're gonna die. Now, I'm gonna be honest. There's not a lot of places on these sites where you can use your Kibas. For example, there's a rotate here, obviously, but I don't know. There's really not that many places where you can place your Kibas. So I think I like to do this over here and then over here. Kind of barricade yourself in. Obviously, you need some ADSs. You need bandits over here and such. You can jump in and out on both sides without breaking the Kibas. You can't jump in the middle. If you jump too close, you're gonna break it, so watch out for that. But yeah, it just gives you nice angles. It gives you nice angles to hold the geisha, the geisha hallway, the staircase, and then a dragon as well. I feel like if you want to, like, you could put one on the table, but I don't think Azami is very good for this site overall, other than what I showed you in Geisha. And yeah, so that's it, and let's move on to the next map. Okay, so now we're on the theme park. We're in second floor in office, and first Kiba is gonna go right over here on this dot right here. What this is gonna do is it's gonna completely cover that door right there from A, so that you can freely rotate into this hallway, and then you can also use this. You can hold angles like this, or you can get on top of it and play it like a crouch Kiba, which is very nice. And it also kind of covers this hallway a little bit. You still have an angle there, but you can extend it if you really want to. Then we're gonna come into A, into vault over here. We're gonna make a rotate over here, and then we're gonna jump down, and we're gonna throw a Kiba around over there. And then we're gonna come back to site. We're gonna come back to vault, and we are going to extend it by throwing one around over here. Now this just creates such a nice angle to hold. We're gonna also reinforce that wall, so obviously so we don't get shot from over there. And this just extends this corner so much, and it's really good to hold this hallway right here. And yeah, I mean, usually there is a hole over here with somebody playing it. This is even better. This just gives you such nice head angles. You can even crouch like this. It gives you so many new angles. And then for the last two Kibas, I don't really have a great spot for them, but you can throw one here. which is going to give you this kind of angle still into bathroom while being protected. And then you can also jump up onto it and you can play it as a crouch Kiba. You can watch both the bathroom and you can watch the hallway. So decent Kiba, I think. And then the last Kiba, probably I would throw it on the door right there. And then you have a, or over there on that door, doesn't matter. It depends on which you prefer, and then you can watch their legs. So these are my Kibas for second floor office, and let's go to kids room. Okay, so now we're in kids, and the first Kiba is gonna go on A. It's gonna go in the middle of this right here. This Kiba basically creates another angle, and you're very exposed behind this, so this just creates another angle for the attackers to check. And then it also leaves this gap right here, which is really good. It's really strong. You have a lot of time to react when an attacker pushes in, and they will not really expect this. It's really well hidden, and yeah, I mean this is just a crazy angle to hold. Then we're gonna make a rotate somewhere over here. And then one Kiba goes over here. It goes over here so that you don't have this angle into the kitchen or the break room. And also, you can obviously play on it like this. If you jump onto these weights and you jump onto this couch, you can play around it. You can see all the way there. And yeah, this angle is just incredibly annoying to deal with as a defender. If attackers get this angle, this Kiba just prevents it, and you can also punish them for holding that angle at all. And then the last three Kibas are gonna go over here to secure this hallway. So the first one's gonna go somewhere over here. Just creates a nice angle because this machine angle is really annoying to play. And then so that we don't get shot from the stairs, we're gonna place one Kiba right over here. And then the second one around over here. So we can push out of this door. They're not really going to see us because it's a little bit lower than you might expect. And then we can peek this without anybody seeing us from the stairs or from down below. And then also we're going to make a rotate over here, obviously in the kitchen. And when we come out of kitchen, they're not going to see us, and we can completely swing this because we're covered by the Kibas. So this is how you set up kids with Azami, and the last site will be Armory. Okay, and for the last site that I will show you on theme park, we're in Armory. The first Kiba is gonna go here, and I like this setup right here to extend this right here. I like to extend this, and look at this angle when you get onto this bench. I mean, this angle is really incredible, and you even have more cover. If you really want to peek this, you have cover from this Kiba right here. But this angle right here is just incredible for this hallway and for people coming from that reinforce if they breach that. And then also you can sprint across over here safely without any trouble. So yeah, this angle is really good. Then the next Kiba, you can place it over here, but I like to place it over here just to be a little bit more safer. It's just gonna completely cut off this angle right here, and it's gonna give you two new angles to hold this door with, and it's just gonna give them less of a if attackers push this door, it's gonna give them less control over the site. Then the next one, I like to place on the top of this of this leg right here. It's gonna create this kind of like a V shape. And it's first of all, it's so that you can kind of rotate in between these two without really getting shot. But it's gonna leave a hole here which you can then hold. But also it's gonna leave this right here, just kind of a really nice angle that you can hold the door with. And it's really hard to see as an attacker. It's really hard to see you there, and it's really tight, as you can see. It's just a nice Kiba. And then the last Kiba I think is gonna be used late round. Whatever they breach, because there's so many places where they can breach. Over here is the most common, then you have this wall right here, and then you have that wall as well. So wherever they breach, you want to place the last Kiba so that you can hold it, but generally maybe you can place it here. Again, it's going to give you a nice crouch angle to hold stuff with. It's going to allow you to play over here without getting swung from the door, and you're going to be able to hold this door right here. So yeah, if they, for example, breach this wall, you can place a Kiba over here, You can place a Kiba over here on this wall right here so that you can play around it. It really depends, but Azami is usually an anchor, so just wait for them to make their move and then use the last Kiba. And now we're moving on to the last map, which is Villa. Okay, so now we're on Villa and we're in Plains. We're gonna throw a few Kibas to protect this site, and then we're gonna throw one on hallway. So the first Kiba to protect the rotate from that door right there. Over here. It protects the rotate from the door. There's usually head holes over here. But at the same time, if somebody swings that door, you will have a really nice angle here and you're protected from the head holes. Then we're gonna throw Kiba here on the vault door. Do not throw it on the left side. The left side does not have collision for some reason. The right side does. It's gonna create a kind of a secondary angle as well. You're not gonna be able to see into vault. Then we're gonna protect the vault from the other side. So we're gonna throw this one on the pool. I don't know why I actually tilted. I don't think it really. Maybe throw it at the top part of the pool table. But yeah, just it protects the angle from hallway to vault. And then we're gonna throw one on hallway on the elbow. We're gonna throw it around. I think here. Yeah, so it gives you this angle right here so that you can peek into the hallway without really being exposed from the window. You can maybe throw it a little bit more to the left than I threw it. And then the last Kiba. This is kind of a controversial one because this angle is kind of good for defender sometimes. But I like to throw it over here so that you can come in and swing it from this side or this side. Obviously this window is a big concern, but this is a little bit more of an aggressive Kiba. If they get behind this and if they start using it, obviously you cannot peek this door anymore, otherwise you're going to give them an advantage. But this is how I like to secure planes, and let's go to trophy. Okay, so now we're in second floor, we're in trophy. We're going to make a rotate over here, the default rotate. We're going to make 2 reinforces here and head holes over here. Now if they push bedroom and peek those head holes, it's going to be a problem. They're going to see into sight, so we're going to cover it up by placing a Kiba here. There's still going to be an angle which we can use to peek, and then there's going to be an angle over here still, which is very nice. And then we're going to do the other side as well. We're going to do the same thing, so that when we're rotating from the hallway to sight, we still have protection. But it also leaves these 2 really nice angles that we can hold. It can be very unexpected. Then we're gonna need to secure this rotate, so we're gonna throw a Kiba on the edge over here, so that you can't see into astronomy from the hallway. We can also play on top of the box, play it like a crouch Kiba. And the last 2 Kibas are gonna go into astronomy, one over here, and one on the table here. So it's gonna leave a nice angle. You can even go prone and watch their legs if you want to. But it's just gonna leave them guessing where you are. If you're behind here, if you're behind the table, if you're gonna pick them from here or here. It's really difficult and really annoying to play against this. But if they have frag grenades or something like that, they're gonna nade you out, which is why it's very good to have an ADS over here, for example, or a Womai above the door. But this is a really nice setup for second floor trophy, and the last site that I'm gonna show you is gonna be kitchen. Okay, so now we're on the last side of Villa in kitchen. Make sure you destroy that gramophone, obviously. This is the default rotate. Or first Kiba goes over here. What this Kiba does is basically when they're pushing into kitchen, they have one more angle to worry about because this is a really bad cover. Again, you can play behind it like this, like a crouch Kiba, or you can play around it. Then I like to protect it by placing a Kiba over here, so they can't see you from the door, and then I like to extend it like this. They can't see you or peek you through here, so if they want to peek you from this side, they have to get on this, but you'll hear them by then, so you'll have time to react when you're playing over there. So they can only come from this angle right here, and they can't swing to kill you at all without jumping onto this. Then the last 2 Kibas, the first Kiba is going to go here. It's basically, again, to protect this position from this door right here. Now you could also, instead of this, you could throw a Kiba over here. to protect the rotate instead from this door, but I like to throw this one instead, and then I like to protect the rotate from this door rather, so that we're gonna be safe when rotating. We throw a Kiba here, as you can see. We can see into the door like 1 pixel, so you can still hold it from here if you really want to, but yeah, they're not really gonna see into the rotate at all. So yeah, that's how you protect the kitchen, and that was the last side of the video. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. See ya.